What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is the live recap show for UFC Vegas 28, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. Thought this was a good week to start it up, and it's going to be every Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, just like it is right now. Would like to do it on fight nights. I just feel like that's probably not the best idea for obvious reasons. But yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? I don't know who's going to show up, but I'm doing to recap this card a little bit. And I do want to point out that I'm going to be going live right after this on Pub Sports Radio to give a first look at the next week's card, UFC 263 with Uncle Weezy, a brand new show going on over there that's going to be every Sunday as well. So some new content coming your guys' way. If you can, leave a like on this video, would help out a ton. Also subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so do not miss out on the content throughout the week. Let's see what we have in the chat here. We have the Gaming Wolf. I did okay, I think, betting-wise. DK mostly fine, I think. Yeah, that the Todorovic versus Rodriguez, I actually edited my comment over that one. I'm happy to for the comeback of Ponzinibbio. Yep, we'll talk about all of that. Ponzinibbio looked fantastic. The Jones one with no contest, ouch. Too bad I had him in a bit because I was expecting it to the distance in that one. But yeah, I'm not complaining. Crazy fights. Yeah, it was a weird card. Not the best card in the world. We'll definitely get into the Jones fight, and I have a ton to say about that. What's up, Jewel? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Recap. Yes, a recap. We'll talk about some Tom Breeze as well. Sean says that's an unfortunate eye poke because Jones was dominating. Yes, sir. That fight and well on his way to a TKO in that second round. I 100% agree, but we'll get into that more. But yeah, during the show, we'll talk, just a recap of the fight as a whole. We'll talk some Tapology predictions. We'll talk, get into the stats of the fight, and then we'll actually get into some of the media scorecards as well. The more Brady vids, the better. I agree. Maximilian, really pumped about the recap. Brady should have started doing them sooner. Yep, I agree. I'm glad to start doing this. We got the General in the chat. What's up, General? How you doing? Hopefully you did well. Appreciate that, Gaming Wolf. What's up, Billy? How you doing? Sosa in the chat. What's going on, you hooligans? This is awesome. We can cry and rejoice as a team. Yes, sir. There are some things that I do need to cry about. And then there's some things that we can definitely rejoice on. Screw on Patrick. Yeah, we'll get into that. Sean Strickland deactivated his body double Breeze. Yeah, we'll talk about Breeze for sure. Thank you, DFS, on the Salikov pick and Delidze all cash in. Yep, did not have any bets on Salikov or Delidze, but yeah, Delidze hindsight looked like a pretty easy bet. Just Star Pulley was just way too small. Dude, I bet you was hoping so bad Walt would finish that. Yeah, so close. I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah, Walt almost finished the dude like 5 different times. I thought he really needed to keep pouring it on him, rather than just backing away. I thought he needed to come forward. Oh my goodness, I thought this was a serious comment at first. Did you hear Jordan Levitt shouted out Brady for being his first OnlyFans subscriber? That is hilarious. I heard he does have an OnlyFans, though. I am not subscribed to it, 100% not. All right. Yeah, Walt almost had him. So we'll get into it here. I'll hit up the chat as long as we go here. Mavs losing bad in the 7th round or 7th game. Not really a basketball guy, but let's go Brady. Not a bad card last night. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't the best card, but here we go. We'll get into it. All right, so Claudio Puelas going against Jordan Levitt. And the first thing I said in pretty much every video this week was don't parlay Jordan Levitt. And we'll take a look at the Tapology predictions. 90% had Jordan Levitt. 10% had Claudio Puelas. It was just it was a weird fight. There was a bunch of question marks with Claudio Puelas taking a 2-year layoff. And, you got to think he's at a good camp, Stanford MMA. He's making improvements. And I don't want to say he made massive improvements because maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I think it was more on the side of Jordan Levitt's probably a bit overrated. I think people really overrated him going out there and slamming a 60-year-old Matt Wyman. Ultimately, why he was a pretty big favorite. Now, I left some money on the table. We all knew the line was off. Well, most people knew. We all knew that it was probably going to be a close fight. And we all knew that there was a possibility for there to be improvements on Puelas' side. And that's exactly what we saw. And we saw on tape that Levitt does slow down as the fight goes on. I thought that he'd have a little bit more success in the grappling, honestly. But, Puelas just really had his way with him in the second round, in the third round as well. So we'll take a look at it. Total significant strikes, Levitt 21, Puelas 20. Puelas 4 for 4 on takedowns, 100% accuracy, 10 minutes of control time for Puelas as well. Levitt was 2 for 7 And Levitt had a really tough time getting Poilas down to the mat. And when he did, we saw that really nice reversal by Poilas in that first round, which was insane. But yeah, really, really impressed with Poilas. We'll kind of take a look at it round by round here. Claudio Poilas lost the first round on all 3 judges' scorecards, I do believe. Close round, lots of control time for Levitt. Poilas, I think, had success towards the end of the first round there. And then after that, Levitt just kind of gassed out. He worked really, really hard for those takedowns, couldn't really get them. And then we just saw Poilas taking over. Poilas 3 minutes and 41 seconds of control in that second round. And then Poilas 4 minutes and 37 seconds of control in that third round, ultimately winning him a decision. We'll take a look at the media scorecards. Better not give me an ad here. There we go. All right, so pretty much all of them. Yeah, all of them had it 29-28. Poilas, it's kind of how I saw it as well. I thought Levitt got that first round. Poilas got those second two. So kind of happy we saw Levitt exposed a little bit, but at the same time, we're not going to get a great line on him. These are 2 guys that are probably not UFC caliber, but they're still young. I think they can make some improvements, both of them. But I'm curious to see what they do next. These are 2 guys that I'm going to be looking to fade in their next fight. So I don't know what they're going to do with them. I think, they're not great, to be honest. The real fight is tonight. Yeah, it's Paul Mayweather. I might or might not be watching, and I probably will watch it. I playlist all my lineups. Yep, I had Poilas in my best lineup. We'll talk about that as well. I did really well on DraftKings. Finished 7th place in the Minimax. Was like 2 points away, less than 2 points away from getting first there. And Poilas was in my best lineup. You look like someone stole your dog in the Ponzi fight. No, I was probably just tired, man. I did pick Baez. I didn't bet him, and we'll definitely talk about that as well. You did say don't parlay Jordan. I said it like 100 times, to be honest. Levitt hype train after that slam TKO all over Poilas, and plus it's the first time of the night we knew how often it's optimal. Yep. I wasn't sure it was going to be optimal at the time. Poilas scored like 86, but yeah, it was optimal. Logan's going to knock out Mayweather in the first round. I don't know about that, man, at all. Who got robbed? We'll talk about some potential robberies. I didn't really think there was a robbery, but I know a lot of people were saying the Bozer fight was a robbery. That's about it. Love you, Brady. Huge weekend for me. Congrats, Alan. Hopefully you did get good, and it seems like you did. Remember somebody get robbed. Bozer won the fight. I will definitely talk about that. Worked all night, saw the last 2 fights, and hit on Tybura Biggie first round KO parlay. Nice. And straight parlay, so it was a good night. There you go. Very good. Amara Carney should retire. I 100% agree. Bozer got robbed. Bozer was not robbed. Also, where were Bozer's leg kicks? We'll talk about that. Jimmy says, if you expect to be successful being so dependent on grappling, you need a Gillespie gas tank. Levitt was tired fairly quickly. Yeah, he worked really hard for those takedowns. Huge week, Brady. There you go. Only person that was robbed was me. Baeza fight might be fight of the year. Well, I'd say so. I say it's up there with that Jones-Davis fight was very good as well. All right, so we'll get into the next fight here. We have Sean Woodson versus Yusuf Zalal. I did take the shot on Zalal. It was like 3 weeks ago. He was sitting at plus 188, and I'm fine with that shot. I thought the line was off, and we'll kind of talk about the fight a little bit. I was really surprised how good that Yusuf Zalal looked in that first round, and we will bring up the stats here for this fight as well. And this fight was razor close. I know a lot of people were really upset with them giving Zalal that second round, but we'll kind of dig into the stats here. So as a whole, for the entire fight, Zalal outlanded Woodson 42-40 in significant strikes. Zalal 47% significant strike accuracy, Woodson 34%, and Zalal also had 6 minutes and 21 seconds of control time. So like I said, that first round, it's 100% Zalal. I thought he looked really good, really fresh. He had 1 minute and 46 seconds of control time, and then also outlanded Woodson 17-11 in significant strikes. The round 2 is what is very, very close. I personally scored this round for Woodson, but I would not be shocked if they gave it to Zalal, and one judge even did. The significant strikes were 15 apiece. Woodson 15, Zalal 15. Zalal was 1 for 3 on takedowns with 1 minute and 46 seconds of control time. But what I do think won the round for Woodson was probably that submission attempt at the end of the second. I had no doubt in my mind that he was not going to submit Zalal. So the judges scored it. The judges probably scored that submission there, and that's what ultimately won in the fight. And then we saw Zalal, really slow down in that third. He was working really hard to get the takedowns. And ultimately, I knew coming in that Woodson has a very good takedown defense, and it is very, very good. I thought that Zalal would be able to get him down at some point, though. But yeah, Woodson's takedown defense did hold up, but Zalal was able to hold him against the cage for, 1/3 of the fight or over 1/3 of the fight. So we'll take a look at the media scorecards. And like I said, I personally scored it for Woodson, but I thought that second round really could have went either way. And we had all the media members, I believe, score the fight for Sean Woodson 29-28. So they're favoring probably that submission temp at the end. Like I said, the significant strikes were close, like 15 apiece. And then we have the judges' scorecards here. All three of the judges gave round one to Zalal. And then two of the three judges gave round two to Woodson. One of the judges gave round two to Zalal. And then all three, of course, gave it to Woodson there. So close fight. I was very impressed with Zalal. Thought his gas tank would hold up a little bit more. Woodson was the fresher guy as the fight went on. But you got to think, just like Levitt, you got to think those takedown attempts, the failed takedown attempts, really did, hurt that gas tank a little bit. Zalal wins Fraud of the Year. Yeah, Zalal was on a 3-fight losing streak. There's a lot of hype on this guy. The hype is completely gone at this point. Amir did definitely not win. We'll talk about that. Slipped the jab for 5 minutes. Zalal robbed. I mean, I wouldn't say there's a single robbery on this card. I would have liked a Zalal win. I had a plus 88 ticket on him, but I did think that Woodson, probably got it, especially with the submission temp at the end. And Zalal was piecing that man up in the first. I don't know. I think Zalal, maybe, I don't know. I liked how he, held him against the cage and all that, but maybe just, don't do that. Don't try to take him down 17 times because that's going to expend energy. I'm curious to see what a fresh Zalal with the striking would look like in 3 rounds because he was having so much success in the first round. Amir won 2 robberies. Richie got murdered. We'll talk about that. Went 7-5, 2 bad robberies, I think. And Jones, horrible. Yeah, the Jones was terrible. Zalal forces wrestling too much. His striking is really great. I don't know why he gets it away from it too much. He needs to time his takedowns better. Yeah, he was forcing him at times. There were some good shots, but man, Woodson's takedown defense, it's hard to take the guy down. The guy's long, he's rangy. He has a great takedown defense. Can't take that away from him. On DK, I wish I had Sean more than Zalal. I thought he looked ready before the fight. Yeah, I don't think Woodson scored that many DraftKings points. He definitely wasn't anywhere close to the optimal lineup. I had no Woodson. I had a little bit of Zalal, but I don't think that fight as a whole scored anything really. Continue to fade Woodson and his flat ass cheeks. Yeah, I don't know. I think Woodson has some upside. I don't like how he's getting held against the cage for 1/3 of the fight, but his striking's solid. I think, he has some upside there. Great call on Rosa. Yep, we'll talk about Rosa. I was really happy with that, but we'll get into the next fight here. So, Manon Fiorot going against Tabitha Ricci. So, yeah, I was really upset that Marina Moroz did pull out of the fight because now we're seeing on Twitter everybody's saying, Fiorot's overrated. She needs to fight somebody, with someone relevant. And, I mean, she tried to. She had a fight against Marina Moroz. That was going to be a very good test for her. But she came out here. She made it look easy. She did what she needed to do. I don't think we need to get into the stats or nothing like that. She was just a better fighter. Tabitha Ricci, I do like her skill set. I think she has some upside in the UFC, but at 115. This fight was at 125. Fiorot was clearly the bigger fighter, especially after rehydrating and all that by fight time. She was looking like a monster in there. Her striking was good. I really like her takedown defense. I know Ricci only officially shot 1 takedown, but she did, try to get on the inside. And when she did, Fiorot was ready for those takedown attempts. And Fiorot even took down Ricci at one point, which I was like yelling at the TV, like, what are you doing? Don't take her down. But yeah, I like Fiorot. I think she has a lot of upside, but I would like to see her fight someone relevant. And Ricci, although I think her skill set's good, she's a 115er at the end of the day. But yeah, Fiorot got it done. I was really tempted on Fiorot by KO. I was tempted by Fiorot inside the distance. I was tempted on the under 2.5. I was tempted on Fiorot. Just ultimately stayed away from it. But yeah, it looked like easy money to me, and Fiorot did get it done. I had about 75% on Fiorot on DraftKings, and it worked out. She scored a ton of DraftKings points. Man, it is a beast. Yep, she made it look easy. Do I think Zalal won? I personally scored it for Woodson, but it was a very close fight. Let's see what we got here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Herb should stop the fight earlier. Fiorot was holding this woman up by her neck and pounding a dead woman. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. She's the real deal. I think so as well. A lot of people hate on her, though. Fiorot displayed fantastic striking and versatile skill set. My uncle. What? Why would you say that at the end? Anyway, I had Fiora and Rosa in a bet. Did well thanks to the 2 fights. They're small profit, but for betting, I like the pricing. I like it. Richie shorts were on point. Thanks, Venom. Yeah, they were nice. I like it. Can't wait to see Manon against the top 15 opponent. I agree. I hammered Delizzi on DraftKings. I don't know what people were smoking, talking about Star Poli. Yeah, I don't know how well Delizzi did. I don't think he did like crazy. I don't think he was in the optimal lineup. Maybe he was. I think it's scored like 86 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Star Poli does not belong in the UFC. I don't know about that, but I don't think that he was at the correct weight class. But I think Star Poli's on like a 3-fight skid. Imagine being one of those 5,300 buy-in DK games and having Breeze or Ahoyo. I wonder if they gave refunds to those high rollers. I don't believe they did. What's up, Mills? Locker room, Shady Brady, aka DFS McGrady. I like it. Thank you for the advice, Scott Tybura and Biggie Boy. KO 9-1. Very nice. Roman all day, easy bet. Yeah, at the end of the day, it looked like an easy bet for sure. All right, so we'll get into the next fight here, and this one stings. And it'll probably sting for a while. This was my biggest bet of the year. I had 3.5 units on Mason Jones, and it just sucks. Patrick, as expected, he looked terrible. It wasn't competitive. Mason Jones was – I really liked how technical he was staying with Patrick doing, like, spinning crap that was not even close to landing. He landed, like, a couple shots, but it's not going to affect Mason Jones there. And then Mason Jones went for takedowns. His wrestling looked really good. Patrick does not have a takedown defense. And then the ground and pound of Mason Jones was phenomenal. He was hitting Patrick on the mat with some nasty elbows, some nasty punches on the ground. And it just sucks, man. I mean, honestly, I was in the middle of tweeting about Mason Jones. And then I look up and it's an eye poke. I'm like, oh, my goodness. We all know what's going to happen. Patrick barely getting up off the stool to start that second round. Mason Jones gets him with the eye poke, and we all know what happens after that. It's ruled a accidental, no contest, which it sucks. And I completely lost all respect for Alan Patrick. He's a veteran, 37 years old, 38. You got to think that, I mean, he's got to know that he's taken this win away from a young guy in Mason Jones. Like, that's not cool. He got beat. He should have continued, he should have continued the fight. And what makes me mad is, yes, it was an eye poke at the end of the day, but you take a look at him, and he's talking to the ref, he's talking to the doctor. His eyes are open. Both of his eyes are open. At least fake it a little bit more. Close your eye a little bit. But he's like, I can't see. And, I mean, this isn't the first time it's happened. It happened to, I think, who was it? Was it Todd Duffy a couple months ago or almost a year ago probably at this point? But it just sucks, man. So it was my biggest bet of the night, 3.5 units on Mason Jones, and not only that, I got him like 3 weeks ago at minus 245. So it hurt. It hurt bad, but it's all right. But yeah, if I would have cashed that bet, it would have been a winning night. But it ultimately had a slight losing night because of that. I was really counting on Mason Jones to get it done, and I was close to actually making it a max bet as well. And I guess some things that I like from Mason Jones was an improved takedown defense. I like that, he was not able to be taken down by Alan Patrick. I did actually expect Patrick to get him down once or twice, but no, Patrick did not get him down once, which I like to see. I think Mason Jones has a lot of upside, but man, this guy's getting screwed. He had a really close fight with Mike Davis, and then now this crap. So it sucks. I'm curious to see what Mason Jones does next. I hope they cut Alan Patrick. I mean, they need to start doing something about this. We're seeing it now more often than ever, that people are finding ways out. I mean, he was clearly losing the fight. He was clearly getting destroyed. He barely got off the stool in the first round. I thought he was going to quit after that first round. Most people probably would. And it just sucks. I mean, I don't know. It just sucks, man. Adrian Ta from Tom Breeze, psychiatrist. What's up, Adrian? Thanks for the dono. Really do appreciate that. We'll never get Jones at minus 200 again. Yeah, I did tweet that. I got him at minus 245. We'll never get him at minus 245 again, at least against Alan Patrick. And I would like to see him run it back just so I can put my house on Jones. But, what's the point? What's the point? We all know that Mason Jones clearly won the fight. And Mason Jones was much better. I bet a lot on this fight, too. Yeah, it was my biggest bet of the year. It sucks because I was, already, counting my money. Towards the end of that first round, I was counting my money. But it just sucks, man. Aljo ruined the sport. Yeah, we have Aljo. Who was that? The big heavyweight guy took a way out as well. These guys are taking easy ways out, and something's got to be done. I don't know what they can do for it, but yeah, some books still did pay out to Mason Jones. Mine unfortunately did not, but no contest. Get your money back, but still would have been a good night. Would have been a great night if it happened. Patrick knows he could see, just didn't want to lose and get punished anymore. Yeah, exactly. He could very well see, and it just sucks. And I thought the ref should have probably gave him a little bit more time. The ref kind of rushed it. The ref was wanting to get this fight over with, and it just sucks, man. Mason Jones, too, what a terrible week to play DFS. So I did really good in DFS. I had about like 39% Mason Jones. So I had a ton, but I had a little bit more of the Montana De La Rosa we'll talk about. They need new gloves. Yeah, something needs to be done, man. It was only one eye poke. Yeah, exactly. But we knew as soon as it happened, the fight's going to be over. Aljo effect. Double down on Rosenstruck. Very nice. Romanov. Yeah, Romanov's. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. Groin strikes, eye pokes, you name it, headbutts, illegal knees. People are taking easy ways out. It sucks. All right, so we'll get into the next fight. Enough about that, but yeah, that sucked. That was my biggest play of the night, and it pushes, which it should have been an easy win. So we'll talk about this fight. This fight was very interesting, and we're going to get into the stats, and we're going to get into the media scorecards as well, which are even more interesting. So watching this fight, I actually scored it for Amarikani, 29-28 Amarikani, but we got to be real. He gassed out in the first couple minutes, like the first 4 or 5 minutes. He started gassing out. He did absolutely nothing in the fight. So was I, screaming robbery, anything like that? No, I wasn't, because nothing really happened in this fight. And then the stats on this fight really do open your eyes of, kind of what happened during it. So we'll take a look at it. Overall, significant strikes. Camilla Kirk did outland him 28-20. But Amarikani had 5 for 9 of takedowns and 6.5 minutes of control time. So taking a look at it round by round, Amarikani 6 for 16 significant strikes. Camilla Kirk 11 significant strikes. So Amarikani did get outlanded there, and then Amarikani had 2 takedowns, 1 minute and 44 seconds of control time. Again, not much going on in the fight as far as the strikes go. Round 2, Amarikani was 6 significant strikes, outlanded Kirk, or got outlanded by Kirk 13-6. Amarikani also had 2 minutes and 51 seconds of control time and also a takedown. And then round 3, so I think this round you can clearly give Makwan. 8 outlanding Camilla Kirk 8-4, and Amarikani also had 2 takedowns, 2 or 3, 2 minutes and 15 seconds of control time as well. So I scored, I think it was round 1 and round 3 for Amarikani, and I thought round 2 was close. I thought round 2 was really close, and Amarikani got controlled Kirk over half the round. So I thought, yeah, this is probably a 29-28 Amarikani, possibly a 30-27 Amarikani. And then we go to the judges' scorecards, which I'll pull them up right now. And, Kirk gets the decision. Kirk gets the decision. So we'll take a look at the media scores here. Basically, about all of them except one had 29-28 Amarikani. I kind of agree with that. And one had 29-28 Kirk. So what the judges did, the judges scored, one of them scored, Bell scored it 10-9 Amarikani. Dave scored it 10-9 Kirk for the first round, and then Rick scored it 10-9 for Amarikani. So 2 of the judges gave round 1 to Amarikani. I gave Amarikani round 1 as well. Round 2 looks like all to Kirk, and that's fine. I thought it was close. That was a really close round. I did give it to Kirk myself. That's okay. And then round 3, this is interesting. They all gave it to Kirk, which, yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. Because Kirk clearly got outstruck. Maybe he had some submission attempts or something, but he's not going to submit Amarikani. But yeah, all 3 judges gave that third to Kirk there. So, I disagree with the decision. I did not have money on Makwan. I know a lot of people bet Kirk. Shout out to you. The fight was close regardless. It was a solid bet at plus money. But I personally had it 29-28 for Makwan. I had quite a few of Kirk on DK. Hey, bro, I should have listened to you more. Told you Alan Patrick would break the slate. He definitely did not break the slate. Well, he broke some hearts. He broke some hearts on the slate. He didn't break the slate, though. Mason Jones would have probably got a bonus 100%. Kirk was controlling on the feet. Damage is how you win the fight, and Kirk did much more. I didn't really see much pop on his punches personally. Yeah, he did have some sub attempts that could have done it for sure in round 2 that stole the fight. Yeah, the sub attempts. What Amar Khan did 0 damage. Yep, 0 damage indeed. And I bet Amir, he lost me good money. His striking looked worse than Askren. Yeah, very disappointed in Mac 1. He's talking about, working on his cardio. He's talked about, stop partying and all that. And his cardio was, same old cardio, same old Mac 1 cardio. They shorted Kirk on those significant strikes. Look at the total. Again, they're not significant. So they're saying they were as soft as Monkey Queen love taps. I guess that's what they're saying. Damage, sub attempts, control time. Again, I didn't see much damage from either guy in that fight, really. I think the judges are scoring submission attempts. Yep, that's probably what they're doing. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a guy of Amir's caliber. Yeah, I mean, he's fought the much better competition. I thought he was the more skilled guy, and he probably is. It's just that gas tank. Tough L for me on DK. Almost pulled it out. How many damn near broke his arm? What do you mean? Both aren't UFC caliber. Kind of look like it. The fight was just terrible as a whole. But Kirk got it done. Shout out to anybody that had a bet on Kirk. Good bet there. Now he was nice plus money, especially early in the week because Mac 1 did open up minus 305. All right, so this next fight, I did not watch it live because I had a bet on the fight goes to decision. I don't know what it is. I just can't watch the fight when I have a fight goes to distance bet because any single moment the fight can end. So I took a shower. I made some food. Went back and watched it today, and I'm glad I did not watch it live because I would have been scared. I got plus 142 on the fight goes to distance. It was a line that was absolutely off, took advantage there, and really did help, stop the bleeding from the Mason Jones. It made me feel a lot better there. Went back and watched it. It was a fun fight. It was a very, very fun fight. I was kind of expecting it to be lower paced, kind of a boring fight, both guys low volume, but no, it was fun. It was fun. We'll take a look at the media scorecards, and I do believe it was 30-27 Salikov all around. I thought the second round was, close-ish. But yeah, 30-27 Salikov for the majority of people. All three judges scored 30-27. I agree. I thought Salikov looked really good round 1, and I thought Salikov, definitely sealed that round 3, especially with the takedown. But yeah, Trinaldo was like 30 or 40. He's like 43 years old. I don't know what's going to be for him next. But yeah, Salikov, the guy's not young himself, 36 years old. So yeah, really curious to see where these guys go. But it was a good fight. It was one of the better fights of the night. If I had to rank it, it'd probably be like the second best fight of the night. And I was not expecting that. So I was glad to be able to go back and watch it today. Like I said, I did not go and watch it last night live because I don't know what it is. I just hate watching fights where I have a bet on the fight goes to decision. Muslim did outland him 62-39 in significant strikes. But yeah, I thought there was many moments where this fight was, someone's getting knocked out at some point. But luckily it did go to decision there. And Salikov got the win. I know a lot of people that took the shot on Trinaldo. I get it. The line at first glance was probably off. In hindsight, it probably wasn't off. It's just a guy, he's getting up there in age. I mean, but yeah, Salikov got it done. No bet on there for me. But I know a lot of people that did have that dog shot on Trinaldo, which decent dog shot, I'd say. I thought it'd be close. I had Salikov, Latifi, Montana, Breeze, Rodriguez, Ponzinibbio, Delidze, Tiber, and Sakai, and I couldn't cash out. Oh, no, before the Sakai fight started because the Breeze fight was voided. Oh, that's terrible. Bro, I'm the exact same way. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I like watching, when I have like a violence bet, I love watching that. But when it comes to, fight going the distance, I just can't watch it. I don't know what it is. Oh, come on. Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that. Sakai did not look great at all. That was one of the worst fights of the year. Are we talking about Salikov Trinaldo? It very well could have been, but it was one of the best fights on the card, which is crazy as that sounds. I really think Amir should retire. He looked better against Burgos. Maybe. I mean, the guy is like 31-32. More of the card. Do not pick people moving up weight classes. All three tanked. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I mean, that sucks, dude. Especially considering you were going to cash out. It sucks. Dalby versus Salikov. I wouldn't mind that. I feel the same sometimes when I place bets. I can't watch them either. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking to say the least, especially when you have two big guys throwing bombs at each other. All right, so this is the fight where a lot of people thought that it was a potential robbery. We'll get into the stats. We'll get into some of my thoughts. So I did pick Alir Latifi. I thought I left some money on the table, especially seeing the decision prop earlier in the week at like plus 500 for Latifi, which that sucked. And even the plus 375 at the end of the week, I was looking at for Latifi by decision. And then also, the straight money line on Latifi was something else I was considering. You look into the tape on Boser, and it was, the exact same scenario. I saw him taken down and have absolutely nothing to offer. And that's kind of what we saw in that third round. But we'll get into the stats here. And we have Boser outlanded him 45-10 in the significant strikes. We'll kind of take it round by round here. So the first round was very, very close. This is a round that the majority of the people did give to Tanner Boser. So Boser did outland Latifi 8-1 in the significant strikes. Latifi landed one significant strike, but Latifi did get a nice takedown, and he did have 2 minutes and 3 seconds of control time. So I personally scored this round for Latifi, and I get that, yes, Boser did outland him, but although he's outlanding him, he's not landing, like outlanding him by a ton. There's not much pop on those shots of Boser. And I know he made a tweet about this earlier that he broke Latifi's arm in the first round with a leg kick. And he's saying like, oh, that's not significant. And, judges just aren't scoring those little leg kicks, those little punches. And it looks like his punches don't have much pop on them, to be honest. Okay. But Latifi does take him down and get 2 minutes of control time. All right. So the judges, score that control time there. Okay. That's fine. Round two, this was weird. Boser was clearly winning the round, and a judge even gave Boser a 10-8 here. It looked to be live an eye poke, and it kind of was. Boser threw a punch. He extended his thumb out, it looked like, and then it scraped the eye of Latifi. Latifi walks away like it's an eye poke. Boser rushes in and just about finishes him. I don't know how he did not finish him. Like, weird. Like, you should have 100% finished him that spot. He was turned away, covering up. Weird. But ultimately, Latifi clearly wins that round. Okay. And then a judge even gives Latifi or Boser wins that round. And the judge even gives Boser a 10-8 round, which that's fine. He almost finished him. And then round three comes along. Latifi gassed out earlier in the fight, but he has enough, left in the tank to get a takedown. And he has 4 minutes and 14 seconds of control time. We can't argue that it's not Latifi's round. He landed 3 significant strikes, 39 total strikes there in that third round there. So I personally scored it 29-28. I thought round one was very, very close. Flip a coin can go either way. A lot of people thought, Boser clearly won the first round. I just think he needed to do a little bit more, and the takedown and control time was not a good look. So we'll take a look at the judges' scorecards here and the media scorecards as well. And we have, this is interesting. The majority of the media scores are scoring at 29-28 for Latifi. So they're kind of seeing what I'm seeing. But you look on Twitter and stuff like that, and everybody's screaming robbery. I don't know if they had a bet on Boser or what, but it was a close fight. I just don't see a robbery. So one guy had Boser winning at 29-28. So we'll take a look at the judges' scorecards. Bell scored it 10-9 for Latifi in that first round. Another 10-9 Latifi. And then Tony Weeks scored it 10-9 for Boser in that first round, which is fine. And then Bell scored it 10-9. Boser second round, all three judges, 10-9. Boser outside of Weeks, who had it at 10-8, which that's fine. 10-8 is fine. He almost finished him. But the eye poke thing kind of sucked. And then round three, clearly all three judges scored it 10-9. So 2 of the judges gave Latifi the first round, ultimately winning him the fight. I agree. I know a lot of people disagree, but at the end of the day, it was a very, very close first round. And the fight sucked. The fight was horrible. I did not enjoy watching that. So yeah, what do you guys think? I know pretty much everybody thought Boser won. I'm kind of going the other way. Did not have money on this fight. Probably should have bet Latifi by decision, or even the fight going the distance. Mellon gave it 2-1 to Latifi. Recap show, solid addition to the lineup of content. If you're planning on making this a regular idea, yeah, I'm planning on it. If people enjoy it, let me know. I'll definitely keep doing it. If people hate it, I'll probably stop doing it, but hopefully people enjoy it a little bit. Now that you break it down like that, I guess it's not a robbery after all. Yeah, it was just a close round. I mean, would I be shocked if they scored it for Boser? 100% no. 100% no. I don't know. I just think it was a close fight. Do you think Bozer can make 205? Maybe. I don't know. People are talking about he probably should be light heavyweight. Maybe we'll see it in the future. Bozer almost KO'd him in the first. Don't remember that happening, but maybe it did. From Tom Priest's mama, appreciate the donation there, Adrian. Sorry about the Tom Priest stuff. We'll talk about that though. All right, about 83 in here. If you guys can hit the like, would really help out. If you guys are watching this in the future, what's up? Hit the like, would really help out as well. Looking to make this a weekly thing. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I'm not Bozer, so I don't know. Enjoyed watching Latifi get 205 as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Latifi is going to do next. I mean, the guy's getting up there in age, heavyweight, no gas tank. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think Bozer. I think Bozer was a little bit too hyped up. I think some of that hype's dying down a little bit. Bozer looks like when you order Jerry from Wish. Yeah, somewhat for sure. All right, so we'll get into the next fight here, and this was personally my favorite fight of the night. I had my second biggest bet of the night on this: Montana De La Rosa, Ariana Lipski. And we don't need to get into the stats. We all know what happened. But yeah, I had De La Rosa 2 units minus 200. Love the line. I said it all week, man. I probably should have went heavier on this. And yeah, there was a lot of people in it was like a pre-fight stream that I do on Saturdays. They were talking crap. They were talking crap about De La Rosa, saying she's overrated. And first of all, I've never heard anybody say that De La Rosa was overrated. And then they said that, I'm probably overrating her. And I said, maybe I am. And then a lot of people were picking Lipski. We'll take a look at the Tapology picks here. And this just shocked me all week. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you looked into that fight even a little bit, you should have known that probably happens. That probably happens a decent amount of times. De La Rosa was picked 46% by people, Lipski 54%, and that just makes no sense. De La Rosa closed at like a minus 300 something favorite. As she should have. I had people all week saying the line was off. I said it was not off. I said it was probably off, but it probably should be wider. And De La Rosa was able to get the takedowns. And as we saw in previous fights of Lipski, no takedown defense, no ground game. And De La Rosa gets her first ever TKO win. That's her first knockout win. All her other wins are by submission. So Lipski, I liked what I saw on the feet. That was nice and all that, but she has a massive hole in her game that needs to be fixed. And I don't think that one training camp at a very good camp is going to fix that, and it clearly did. And De La Rosa was the best wrestler she's faced in her career. De La Rosa got it done. I thought De La Rosa would win inside the distance. Picked her by submission personally. But yeah, she got her first knockout win. So embarrassing. Very embarrassing on Lipski's side. But I think the stock of De La Rosa, rises a little bit. And maybe people will start giving De La Rosa a little bit more respect. I know people don't like her. People think she sucks. But when you're looking at fights, when you're betting fights, you got to look into the matchup, and just stylistically, I just don't see how anybody could have picked Lipski outside of she's the better looking fighter. I mean, that was people's arguments. I mean, she's the better looking fighter. And, I honestly think that's probably why some people picked her. I agree. I think she's decent. I think she's getting better as well. And we got to remember, she's young as well. So angry Lipski got robbed. Yeah, somewhat. She got robbed of, something, but KO plus 900. De La Rosa was a gift from the gods after the way Lipski got pounded up by Shevchenko. Yep. I think on some books she was even like plus 1,200 by KO. Lipski was 90% earlier in the week. It's just crazy, man. I don't know. It's just weird. This fight kept me plus for the night. Yeah, this fight definitely helped me out a ton. It was my second biggest play outside of Mason Jones, which I was expecting both those to hit. Mason Jones almost hit, but, all that crap happened. But I'm glad to be able to hit this one. Clippers advance to the next round. There you go. Didn't you go 3.5 units on one fight, but was going all in? Glad you didn't. Yeah, I was going to do a 5-unit max bet on Mason Jones. Very close to doing it. But ultimately, I got my money back from the 3.5 on Mason Jones, but I really did think that was going to hit. Lipski moving to ATT to have Mallory Loretta as her main training partner was supposed to help her ground game and cardio. I guess so. That was the rumor, but we clearly saw that it was not. Yeah, De La Rosa, Anthony Shevchenko. Give me that matchup all day. Hopefully the Shevchenko hype, I guess, the Shevchenko name gives us a good line on De La Rosa because I think De La Rosa finishes her within a round. Definitely when people take her. Yep. Lipski, no takedown defense, none at all. 45%, probably like 40% now. I have not checked. More Brady MMA content, the better. Appreciate that. Speaking of more MMA content, going live at 7 o'clock 15 p.m. after this on Pub Sports Radio, doing another new show, new content everywhere on Pub Sports. It's called Stat Diggers, where we're going to dive balls deep into the stats for UFC 263, the upcoming card with Uncle Weezy. Can't wait to get into it, and especially considering it's a huge card, UFC 263. And then me and Uncle Weezy are probably going to be doing a main event breakdown for my channel that'll be out on Monday. So lots of new content going on, and very excited to implement it. Been wanting to do this stuff for a long time now. Bozer got robbed. Like I said, I scored it for the Tifi, but I would not be mad if somebody scored it for Bozer. De La Rosa will be -5. You'd be surprised, man. People always underrate De La Rosa, and we clearly saw that people overrate Shevchenko. Against Lee, she opened up like -230, -220. What happened to Monkey King? The guy's just not great. He's not great, overrated. You slam a 70-year-old Matt Wyman, and you get some hype on you. All right, so we'll get to the next fight. We're about 40 minutes. Going to go to an hour. Got to get ready for the next show on Pub Sports with Uncle Weezy, and we have a couple fights left. We are now on the main card. So Gregory Rodriguez versus Dusko Todorovic. I personally pick Rodriguez. No money on him. Again, leaving money on the table here. I thought the fight was a 50-50 fight, but my goodness, did I not know that Rodriguez would look in hindsight like -300. I was really disappointed in Dusko. There's a lot of hype on the guy. I'm assuming there probably is still hype on the guy. I thought he looked awful. I think that Soriano took his soul. He knocked him down like 5 times in that fight, knocked him out. And then we see the fight with Gregory Rodriguez. I mean, we can get to the stats a little bit, but he was just, outclassing him in every single aspect of the fight. I mean, Todorovic had nothing. And Todorovic clearly did not improve his striking defense, maybe a little bit. His hands were still down. He was still backing up with his chin in the air. So I did not like that. And I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Dusko here. He got outlanded 71-37 insignificant strikes. Rodriguez had 3 takedowns. And I was surprised at, how Rodriguez's gas tank held up as well. I thought he was going to slow down, but no. It looked like Dusko was slowing down. But Dusko was slowing down as soon as the fight started. He did not throw. Typically, we'll see a ton of volume from Dusko. That was not there. Typically, we'll see bad striking defense from Dusko. That was there. But he just didn't have any sense of urgency, and that's kind of what makes Dusko Dusko. So I came to the conclusion that Soriano probably took the guy's soul, and that's exactly what happened. It's not like I don't think Rodriguez is a bad fighter or anything. I think he's a great fighter, but I was just expecting more. And I did have the fight doesn't go to decision in a parlay, and it's just weird how things work out because the fight doesn't go to decision for Rodriguez Todorovic was -290, which was the most likely according to the odds to end inside the distance. De La Rosa Lipski to end inside the distance was the least likely according to the odds. De La Rosa Lipski finishes, Rodriguez Dusko goes to decision. And the reason why it went to decision was because Dusko had no sense of urgency. He quit before the fight even started, which it sucks. I wanted to see Dusko, go after it more, especially if you're losing the fight. Like, you got to have a sense of urgency, and we didn't see it for all 15 minutes. So Rodriguez clearly wins. Shout out to him. I did not bet him. I was tempted. But I did know that this was a 50-50 fight. I did think someone was getting knocked out either way. Both guys have a combined 89% finish rate. Both guys have no striking defense. Both guys have power. Both guys, can be finished. And I expected a finish, but no, we got a decision in a very, very lackluster fight. At least I was expecting a much more exciting fight and a finish along the way. But it was mostly because Dusko did not show up. So I don't know what's going to happen with Dusko. I think he's extremely overrated. I've been saying it. I've been saying he needs to fix some holes in his game. And to me, it looked like he got worse. It looked like Soriano took a soul. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I was very, very, very disappointed in Dusko. Yep, I think Puna got him. That RoboCop is not bad. He's not bad at all. I'm really excited that he's in the UFC, and he's young. He's 29 years old. I know he looks 40, but yeah. Cut these bums. I don't know. I think RoboCop had a really good performance, but I just did not like what I saw from Dusko. Dusko pissed me off the worst out of everybody in this card. Yeah, he didn't show up. You got to show up, man. So close to winning on DK. New Puelas was going to pull through, even though it's pretty ugly. Yeah, so Rodriguez was in my best DK lineup. I finished 7th in the mini max, which was awesome. But I needed RoboCop to score, less than 2 points more than Ponzinibbio. It was Ponzinibbio who was in the optimal lineup. I had Rodriguez, so I was like so close to getting first place, which was going to be a couple thousand, which would have been nice. Yeah, exactly. Dusko isn't a KO artist. He's finished every single one of his wins outside of one. Yeah, it looked like he had no power. It looked like he had nothing on his punches. It was just a weird Dusko. Yeah, we'll talk about Ponzi scheming by Asa. It's not that you see this after the guy's first KO loss. They tried to manage the fight in place of doing. Yeah, it probably was because of the knockout. So I'm curious to see how Dusko looks as we go forward. Had a feeling this was going to the scorecards because they both knew each other from the amateur days. I don't know what it was. I just think it was more because of Dusko not showing up and making it a fight. He made me money on Fiora KO, and Rodriguez was my pick way faster than that bum, I think. KO I won big. There you go. Congratulations to you on Fiora. Yeah, Fiora was like minus 120 by KO. I love that. All right, Dolidze versus Staropoli. Do we really need to talk about this fight much? I mean, people were crapping on Dolidze, and I'm actually going to give Dolidze some respect here. People are always crap on the guy for the fight IQ, including me, going for heel hooks, asking his coaches if he should submit the guy. But, the one time that Baeza fights, or not Baeza, Dolidze fights smart, people still crap on the guy. And we'll take a look at it here. And just the domination of a fight. Dolidze had 9 minutes and 37 seconds of control time. Yes, it was the most boring fight of the year, but he fought smart and he got the win. And that's kind of what I look for when I bet somebody. I know Uncle Weezy had a decent sized bet on Roman Dolidze. Shout out to him. Hindsight, yeah, it was a phenomenal bet. I couldn't bet it personally because of the fight IQ, because of the cardio, but he fought smart. And look what happened. He won the fight. So shout out to Dolidze. Got to give him some props. I know it was a boring fight, but he did what he needed to do to get the win. 5 of 9 takedowns, scored decent on DraftKings. So yeah, Staropoli was too small, and that was the story coming in. He was moving up a weight class. Dolidze, came down recently from light heavyweight. There was a lot of people on Staropoli. I didn't see it personally because of the size difference, and he proved that the size difference, definitely didn't matter in that fight. And Dolidze got it done. Not much to say. Like the stream, I agree. Is Ponzi really back or future fade? We'll talk about that. I love that Baeza lost. Everyone took Baeza. Yeah, a lot of people took Baeza. Robocop fought 2 weeks ago. Yes, sir, he did. So it's not really short notice. He was ready to go. Yeah, he looked ready, man. Dusko elevated way too fast because of the heat. He beat Michel Pereira. He needed to get more experience at lower levels. He may be ruined now. I don't know, but we'll see. That Breeze fight, it messed me up on DraftKings. So pissed. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about it right now. So yeah, we're watching the card, and then all of a sudden, breaking news: Breeze is out of the fight, and a lot of people are shocked. I'm not shocked. Personally, I faded the fight. I said it all week. Do not bet this fight. Do not bet on Breeze. Do not bet on Antonio Arroyo. And as far as DraftKings, I had like 9% Arroyo, and I had less than 5% Breeze, something like that. So I completely, basically faded the fight myself. No action from a betting perspective. No action on DK. I know a lot of people really heavy on the fight. I know a lot of people betting on Arroyo. I know a lot of people parlaying Breeze. He pulls out. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. It's either the third or fourth time where he's done this. And I don't know the exact reason yet. I didn't even bother to look, but I'm assuming it's because, the anxiety issues and all that good stuff. It sucks. Breeze is a talented fighter, but, that's something that's really holding him back. I know a lot of people are making fun of him because, yeah, it's probably on paper an easy fight against Arroyo, but we don't know what's going through his head. But yeah, he did screw a lot of people. He didn't screw me, that much, if any at all. I was kind of expecting, I'd almost say I was expecting it, but I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked when I heard that at all. If someone was going to pull out of a fight on fight day, it's Tom Breeze. Got to cut. I'm not good. Yeah, Staropoli is on a 3-fight losing streak, I believe. Charles Oliveira was in Staropoli's corner, and he still got dominated in the grappling. Yeah, he's just too small. Too small. Tom Breeze going the way of Terry Edom. You called it DFS. Breeze is a cook. Yeah. People want to see violence. I just want to see the green at check mark next to my picks. Exactly. I mean, I like when fighters fight smart, and that's what Dolidze did. Breeze did beat the GOAT, but he has to get active. I think it's time to cut him. It probably is, to be honest, as sad as that sounds. I think he's a talented fighter, but you can't be, doing that. You can't be doing that. We see it happen every so often, but Breeze has done it more than once, more than twice now. You needed Dusky instead of Tybura. Yeah, I needed Ponzinibbio instead of Rodriguez, which was like 2 points away. Wanted to play Breeze on DK, but faded him off your advance. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't have much Breeze at all. I was more on the De La Rosa, Jones, even some Levitt as well. Breeze was like probably my lowest owned in that 9K range. All right, so we'll get into the co-main event here. So I did pick Tybura, but I bet Walt Harris. I thought there was extreme value on the first and second round knockout props. I took a half unit shot on both. And wow, was the first round knockout prop close to cashing for Walt Harris. We'll take a look at the stats a little bit, and the stats definitely tell the story here. So Walt Harris outlands Tybura 23-4 as long as the fight lasts. Okay, Walt Harris hurts Tybura bad. Okay, and then he hurts him again bad, and then he hurts him a third time, and he keeps hurting this guy. He just can't put him away. He should have kept on the pressure and kept going for that finish. I thought for sure the fight was going to be, stopped. I thought if he kept pouring it on, the fight would have probably been stopped. But no, Harris ultimately, backed away at some point and then let Tybura kind of regather himself. And then after that, Harris is probably done. Harris put all the energy in getting in the finish, kind of like the Overeem fight, gassed out a bit, got taken down. And then Tybura, I believe he's a black belt, was able to finish him after that. Hindsight, I probably should have just went with the under 2.5 rounds. A lot of people did. A good play. I liked it. I was looking at it, but I thought if there was going to be a finish, I thought it was going to be more on the Walt Harris side, at least early. I was expecting Tybura, if this did get extended, to get a finish, but no, Tybura got it early. But man, was Walt Harris. We got to admit that Walt Harris was so close to finishing that fight. And I had plus 650 for the first round knockout. Would have liked to cash it. Thought I was going to cash it. It was close to cashing. But yeah, I would take that shot again. I would take that plus 650 first round knockout shot again, because Walt Harris, I mean, that's how he wins. That's how he wins the fight. But, shout out to Tybura. I don't know. I think he's on like a 4-fight win streak, something like that. Walt Harris is on like a 3-fight losing streak. Are they going to cut Walt Harris? Are they going to match him up against somebody that he can get a win against? I don't know what they're going to do with Walt Harris, but, unfortunate. I thought Harris was extremely close, but Tybura, tough enough to, push through. So Tybura does win by first round finish. I had a ton of this fight on DraftKings. I had, I think, like close to 100% owned on the 2, and Tybura did win. Tybura wasn't overly owned, I don't believe, and that did help out quite a bit. Faded Breeze on DK. I pretty much faded him as well. I took Tybura by KO. Yeah, good line there. I was thinking maybe like a sub or a KO, but I did think he could finish late. Harris failure and Sakai getting finished so early really fucked you. Yeah, not great. And out of shape. Skip Ponzi. Oh, did I skip the best fight of the card? I'll get to get to that right quick. Okay, so about 7 minutes left, and I got to get out of here. Yeah, man, I skipped the best fight of the night. Okay, so fight of the night here. Sorry, I was really looking forward to talking about the Libyan Star Poli. Ponzinibbio by Aza. Basically, Ponzi's back. The first round was iffy. He was slipping around. A lot of people thought he was getting wobbled here and there. No, he was just slipping. I don't know what was going on with his footing, but he was slipping around. Second and third round, he puts it on Baeza. Was not expecting Baeza to fall off that much, but he did. And he was piecing Baeza up at points. The fight as a whole, it was somewhat close. I thought that Baeza clearly won the first round. I thought that Ponzinibbio won the second, especially towards the end of that second round. He was pouring it on. I thought the fight was about to be stopped. I thought he was about to get a finish. But Baeza is very, very tough. I do like to see that. And then the third round, kind of the same thing. It was a little bit closer of a round, but Ponzinibbio did win that fight. He was clearly winning the fight, clearly winning the third round. We'll take a look at the overall stats. Ponzinibbio outlands Baeza 121-104 with significant strikes. Close fight, but I did give it to Ponzinibbio 29-28. First round Baeza, second 2 rounds to Ponzinibbio, and it's safe to say that Ponzinibbio is back. I said it all week. What version of Ponzinibbio are we going to get? Are we going to get the Ponzinibbio of old? If the Ponzinibbio of old shows up, I think he probably, makes it look easy. And if the new Ponzinibbio, if the Ponzinibbio that showed up that, against Leach shows up, Baeza probably knocks him out. And it looks like Ponzi's back. He looked phenomenal. The guy is still legit. He's 34 years old. But I think Baeza has some solid upside himself. Baeza is 29 years old. This is his first loss. Curious to see what both guys do next, but just for future reference, Ponzi's he's back. He's not completely shot like a lot of people, including me, thought. I thought Ponzi was done. The layoffs, the injuries, stuff going on outside the cage. I thought he was done, and clearly he's back. All right, so getting to the main event real quick, and then I'll hit you guys up in the chat. Yeah, Rozenstruik Sakai. Sakai looked awful. He looked terrible. He looked hesitant. I don't know if it was because he was kind of conserving energy for later in the fight. I did have the over 1.5, as did the rest of the world, but I also had the fight ends in a KO, which I did like. I expected both of those to hit, and I think they both could have, but we'll talk about what happened a little bit. But yeah, I got the both ends at KO, minus 190, had 2 units on that. So glad that hit, but I would have liked both to hit. So yeah, basically a first round of not much going on. Rozenstruik looked really decent. He looked a lot better. He was actually, throwing things. He outlanded Sakai 16-3 in that first round. And then he clips Sakai with a punch that looked like it barely landed. Sakai goes out for a second. It takes him, a couple seconds to wake up. And then the ref stops the fight. I thought at first look, first watching it was probably an early stoppage. But if you go back and look, Sakai was clearly out. So I think the stoppage is fine. And a lot of people were saying early stoppage, all that, but I think the stoppage was okay. But ultimately, yeah, Rozenstruik won, which we knew that coming in. We knew that this was a fight that, Rozenstruik has that power. He has the power to knock out anybody in the heavyweight division, and he knocked out Sakai. That was the first time Sakai was ever knocked down in the UFC, and that was the first time that Sakai was, second time he was knocked out, once by overeem, but that was more due to fatigue. But yeah, he dropped him with a little shot. But man, this guy carries power. This guy carries a ton of power. So shout out to Rozenstruik. And at that moment, I thought I got a first place on DraftKings, but ended up getting 7th place. Rozenstruik was somebody you definitely need in your lineups. I had 25% Rozenstruik, but I only had 9% Sakai, which I do like that. But yeah, I was not expecting this fight to end as quick, and it almost got to that second round. I think if it did get to that second round, the over 1.5 probably hits. But ultimately did have that fight ends in KO, which did save me a little bit there. All right. So yeah, the card as a whole, it kind of sucked, to be honest, but it's a card. It's a card. We had 13 fights. We're supposed to have 14, but it was an okay card overall. Jack Attack. Yeah, what's good, Brady? How about Puelas? Yeah, you nailed it, man. Puelas looked good. He looked solid. Levitt looked overrated. Maybe we have to give the lead some credit. Yeah, maybe we do. Mason Jones is an incredible future force in the division. Yeah, he could be if he stops getting screwed. Herb Dean bet the under. Yeah, I don't know. First look, thought he could have waited like another second, but Sakai was out for a couple seconds. By Isaac Gas, yeah, he did. Do I think it was worthy of main event? No, I don't. UFC and Vegas are working together. They robbed everyone's 1.5. Yeah, the thing that sucks is I bet that 1.5 at minus 142. It closed at like minus 220. So, beat the line movement. That's the best you can ask for, but did not hit. Not hit. Herb Dean hammered that under for sure. More stress watching while betting the over A. Just like the Overeem versus Volkov. No more betting the overs with heavyweight main events. Yeah, everybody loves betting those overs in heavyweight events. It's every single time there is one. The over is, a very popular play. I usually don't like doing that, but this is an instance where I thought it was going to be somewhat low volume. Both guys had good chins. Both guys, durable guys, but Rozenstruik does have some power. So if it played out again, I think that the over probably does hit, but Rozenstruik did clip him with a shot that looked like it barely landed. Two dogs came in on a short notice. Yep, Kirk and Rodriguez. I saw no world where Sakai won. Impossible. Plotting big dome. Yep. He did not look great. Biza messed my night up, but still impressed with the performance nonetheless. Yeah, you got to be impressed with Ponzi. Is Nate Diaz plus 400 value bet against Leon Edwards? I'd say no. I actually already parlayed Leon Edwards with somebody else on the card, and we'll talk about that sometime this week. So just to kind of tell you guys what I got going on after this stream, heading over to Pub Sports, starting in 15 minutes with Uncle Weezy. Our new show called Stat Diggers, where we dive balls deep into the stats for the next upcoming card, which is UFC 263. Going to go into all the stats possible, give some early looks, some early leans, and then planning on doing a main event breakdown on Monday on my channel, and then doing a full card breakdown and prediction video should be out Tuesday morning. I have pretty much all the fights taped. I need to tape some more, maybe like 3, 4, 5 maybe fights left, but ultimately, feeling pretty good about the next card. I have 2 bets so far. Not really sticking out from a betting perspective, not much sticking out, but I'm sure we'll find some props and stuff as they do open up. I think the over-unders open up where the fight doesn't go to decision lines open up today, so I'll check those out. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. If you do like this idea, if you're watching now or in the future, please leave a like. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if there's any changes you'd like to do. Let me know if this idea sucks. Let me know if I should stop doing it, or if you do like it. If you do like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll do other things on Sundays. But I had fun. I had fun talking with you guys. It's good to talk about the card, and always a good time. Am I posting UFC 263 content soon? Trying to get early on some bets. Yeah, it'll be out. Main event out Monday, full card out Tuesday, and then going over some stats tonight on Pub Sports. And the link will be in the description of this video as well if you want to check it out. I'll tune in. Good after show. Appreciate that, man. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Please leave a like on your way out. Subscribe. I think we're like 2 subscribers away from 11K. That'd be nice to get that maybe today. But yeah, that's about it, guys. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you soon.